아직 어렵게 느껴지는 영어. 아이들 영어는 어떻게 챙기시나요? 부산 영어방송이 준비한 어린이 영어 콘텐츠 세상. BFM 키즈 영상 채널이 여러분을 찾아갑니다. 샘 해밍턴과 윌 벤저스 그리고 모모랜드 낸시가 함께하는 BFM 키즈에서 영어로 듣는 부산 설화와 전래동화, 재밌는 파닉스 영어, 신나는 K-팝 영어까지 만나보세요. 우리 아이의 영어 실력과 창의력을 쑥쑥 키워줄 특별한 어린이 영어 채널 BFM 키즈가 여러분을 기다립니다. 지금 바로 BFM 키즈를 검색하고 구독해주세요.
Hi, I'm Roberto Fernandez from Mallorca, Spain. I have been living here in Busan for more than 5 years with my Korean wife and twin boys. Back in 2020, I was invited to a game by a friend of mine. Since in Spain, football is the most beloved sport, baseball really drew my attention. In Sajic Baseball Stadium, everyone was singing the chants loudly, and that space was filled with the vibes of Busan. Everyone could truly become one body and one mind, sharing all the feelings of joy and sorrow. When I first visited here in Busan, I didn't have a family, but now I have the whole Giants family as well as my own family. Once Busan Galmegi, you are forever Busan Galmegi. Global City Busan, we're in it together. This campaign was brought to you by BEFM Busan 영어방송.
The weather is so nice today. I'm sure this won't be a big deal.
A 3-second long lapse in judgment can burn up an entire mountain, which will take 100 years to recover. We can protect these lush forests if you follow these guidelines. First, do not bring flammable materials to the mountains. Second, do not cook or camp in the mountains. Third, do not litter cigarette butts. Your small actions are the first step towards protecting the beautiful forest. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
Want to be a friend of BFM 부산영어방송? You can chat with BFM through our Kakao Talk service. You can share your messages and photos through Kakao Talk, and you can easily become BFM's Kakao friend by searching BFM through the Find a Friend option. Come share and chat with us at BFM anytime, anywhere for free. Don't forget to add BFM 부산영어방송 to your Kakao friends list.
Man, I haven't got a chance. I call him.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
We often talk about days of past. We love reminiscing about our school days, and some of our most vivid memories are related to school. Whether it's elementary school, for some of us even kindergarten, all the way to high school or beyond. If you have been to a restaurant or happen to overhear conversations lately here in Korea, whether it's young people or parents, the topic of choice right now is all about college admissions. Yes. Still, I know, we've talked about the 수능, early admissions. Now it's time for regular admissions. And why are we obsessed with education, and more specifically, higher education? Well, actually, that's a question with multiple answers, not like the CSAT. What we do know is that a very high percentage of South Koreans attend college or university. About 70% of young adults had tertiary education. That's according to the latest information from the OECD. The bigger question is this, though. Is college, and that includes university, is this still important? I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, January 14th on BEFM 부산영어방송. right, good morning, Wavers. I hope you are ready to enjoy our hump day, our Wednesday together. I hope you are well. And we, of course, have major news to talk about, including former President Yoon Suk-yeol, the verdict in his sentencing that has come down. Also, President Lee Jae-myung with his summit with Japanese Prime Minister. That is also major news. We're going to be covering all of that, so please stay with us throughout the program. We're going to cover all the bases. But right now, we are in the midst of the regular college admissions season. So those of you who are in Korea know that this is usually called 정시. But we're already seeing this pattern of decentralization of colleges, meaning a move away from Seoul area schools, the in Seoul, as they say, to regional universities. According to 종로학원's analysis of regular admissions, once again, 정시 applications in the last 5 years, the competition rate for the Seoul area schools came to 6.01 to 1. Okay, so there you have it, 6 to 1. And this was the notable part. For regional schools, 지방대, it wasn't much lower, 5.61 to 1. So pretty similar. So the difference between Seoul and non-Seoul universities' competition rate, the difference only 0.4, which is astounding given just 4 years ago, looking back at 2022, it was 2.77 points. So already that's a big gap. There were some standout regions and universities with Daegu, Gyeongbuk, and Chungcheong universities showing over that 6 thresholds, over 6 to 1 competition rate, which was, as you just heard, above the Seoul area university competition rate. And Busan National University, PNU, had the highest number of applicants out of all of the regional national universities with 7,551 applicants. We have to ask, why the sudden surge in popularity of these regional universities? Well, students' views on universities may be changing to one of practicality or pragmatism, so 실리주의. And the driving force behind this is the less than stellar, basically bad job market. Industry insiders say that whether you go to an in-Seoul university or a regional one, getting a job is hard either way, meaning that going to an in-Seoul school doesn't necessarily give you a huge advantage. And add to that the economic downturn, students are choosing to go to school somewhere close to home. Maybe to save money, and also if it's a national university, that tuition is cut down significantly. On the flip side, this is also an opportunity for regional universities as individual programs and links to job opportunities could give them a real competitive edge. So hopefully it's not just like a trend, that we might see more of this decentralization. And now it's time for a text topic. It is very much related to a story we're going to be talking about in hour number 2. So are you ready? Here we go. What is the most shocking thing that you have seen or experienced on public transportation or just generally in public? You saw this in public and went, oh my gosh, OMG, are my eyes deceiving me? I'm sure we've all seen, I hope we haven't done it, and we've only witnessed it. 자, 내가 대중교통이나 공공장소에서 본 가장 충격적인 행동이나 사건. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of interesting stories. You can, share with us your stories. Send them into BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM or 부산영어방송 to find our channel. Subscribe, log in, chat with other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk. To find your account, type in BEFM, 부산영어방송, add us as a friend, and then you can send in your messages. And yes, some people love sending photos as well. We appreciate that effort. You can tune into Morning Wave in Busan on the radio here in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. We're streaming on YouTube live. Right now, you can watch again at your leisure, and we're available on the BEFM app and Popbang app. Both are free and easy to download. Looking ahead to our Wednesday morning together, we have our usual suspects. We have now in Busan, we have Lian, and then in hour number 1 and 2, we have Haley coming in for top stories and wa글와글 tea time. We also have Lian with Now and Next. That's in hour number 1. Jennifer with Work in Progress. For a special interview, like I said earlier, we are going to cover one of the major stories right now, the Korea-Japan summit between obviously President Lee Jae-myung and Prime Minister of Japan, Sanae Takaichi. We're going to break that down as much as we know with an expert. That is coming up in hour number 2. I'll be back with news overview. It's time for news overview. Special counsel requests death penalty for Yoon Suk-yeol. The special counsel has demanded the death penalty for former President Yoon Suk-yeol on charges of allegedly leading an insurrection attempt via his martial law declaration in 2024. President Lee Jae-myung emphasizes trilateral cooperation with China and Japan. President Lee Jae-myung held a summit with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi yesterday where he emphasized the need for trilateral cooperation between and among Seoul, Beijing, and Tokyo. Court approves arrest warrant for Pastor Jeon Kwang-hoon. Pastor Jeon Kwang-hoon of Sarangjil Church has been put under arrest as he faces charges of allegedly inciting the riot at the Seoul Western District Court last year. PPP strikes Han Dong-hoon's membership. The People Power Party or PPP Ethics Committee made a late-night decision to remove former chair Han Dong-hoon's party membership over allegations of his family's posts on the party's online board. Trump urges Iranians to continue protesting. U.S. President Donald Trump has urged anti-government protesters in Iran to keep protesting, saying help is on its way as he issued a warning against those killing the protesters. This was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan. We have Lian in the studio. Hi.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
I am. Thank you.
Well, our text topic, I think, is such an interesting one. And I just saw one. Can I read one before I ask
Yes,
for
please,
your
go
take?
ahead.
The Toto chip says this. 저는 고속버스에서 this is a scientific word, so I can say it. 대변 보는 거 봤대요. So this person saw on an express bus someone going number 2. And I hope it was a baby in diapers. Because if it's not, there is no excuse for that. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. I really hope it was a baby. Okay. Well, now I want to get your take, your opinion, your story on the oddest or weirdest behavior you've seen in public.
Some people eat sometimes while in the subway or in the train. But I didn't notice for a while since I was watching my phone. But I started to smell something really, like not just the finger food or like bread. I'm like, what am I smelling right now? And
What was it?
It was 국밥 in the subway.
No.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this real?
Is that a thing? Is that a trend that I don't know?
And then I had to get off. So I was like, was it real or
did I just imagine?
Yes. But
Like
yes,
a full-on
a
국밥.
with a full of ball with the plastic bag and everything in the subway.
Okay, so we're going to assume that this person was really hungry and there was a reason. We want to be understanding, but I don't know.
Again,
okay.
hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, thank you for sharing that very interesting story. We're going to jump into now in Busan. We're hearing, by the way, before we get into the story, I do want to give a trigger warning to our listeners and our audience that trigger warning about, violence, assault, anything of that. So now that we've said that, we're hearing that prosecutors have sought an additional sentence for the so-called Busan spin kick attacker. This was a very famous, infamous story, right?
Yes. Prosecutors have requested an additional 3-year prison term for the man behind the notorious Busan spin kick, the 돌려차기 case, who is already serving a confirmed 20-year sentence. In May 2022, he brutally assaulted a woman with the intent to commit sexual assault. Yesterday, on the 13th, prosecutors at the Busan District Court's Western Branch requested an additional 3-year sentence for the attacker over new charges, including retaliatory threats.
Yes. So what led prosecutors to seek this extra sentence?
After being incarcerated for the original assault, the attacker allegedly made retaliatory threats in February 2023, saying he would assault and kill the victim while speaking to fellow inmates. These remarks led to the new trial. The attacker is also accused of sending threatening letters to his former girlfriend and coercing a cellmate into bringing in items purchased during prison visits. Throughout the proceedings, the attacker repeatedly requested changes to trial dates and failed to appear in court, actions that delayed the trial. In his final statement, the attacker expressed remorse and apologized to the victim, claiming he had neither the intention nor the desire to carry out any retaliation. The court has scheduled a sentencing date for February 12th.
Well, thanks for giving us the additional information on this case once again. So many people remember this case, and it should be remembered because it was such a terrible, terrible act. All right, moving on to our next story. There are growing concerns over the creation of alternative habitats for migratory birds near the Kimhae International Airport. So we need more information.
Busan City has announced plans to build 6 alternative habitats for migratory birds in the Nakdong River mouth, but critics warn the project can cause serious risks to aviation safety at Kimhae International Airport. Once completed, the habitats would be located just 2 to 5 kilometers from the airport's runways. Unlike a single clustered site, the 6 habitats would be spread out, effectively surrounding the airport from the front and both sides. Given their close proximity, there are concerns that birds moving between these sites could interfere with aircraft operations.
And that's really key. What does this mean for flight safety at Kimhae Airport?
Kimhae Airport is already considered one of the most dangerous airports in the country when it comes to bird strikes among Korea's 6 major airports. If the alternative habitats are completed, the risk of bird strikes at Kimhae Airport is expected to rise even further. Kimhae Airport itself has also voiced strong concerns. An airport official said the construction of alternative habitats could disrupt flight operations and added that the airport authority has repeatedly conveyed its concerns to the city. Aviation experts have likewise expressed unease, warning that creating bird habitats so close to an airport could increase serious safety risks.
I see. So this is definitely a conundrum, but thanks for letting us know about this as well. Next up, we are hearing that navigational aids and related services at Busan Port, they're set up for major upgrades.
The Busan Regional Office of Oceans and Fisheries, Busan 해양수산청, announced it will invest a total of 10.7 billion won this year to improve the functions of navigational aids and enhance service quality at Busan Port. Key projects include improving and maintaining navigational aid quality, renovating the Yeongdo Lighthouse as a maritime cultural space, building an eco-friendly buoy maintenance vessel, and upgrading buoy systems across the East Sea region. Marking its 120th anniversary this year, the Yeongdo Lighthouse will undergo extensive remodeling. Aging deck facilities, walkway lighting, and gallery windows will be renovated, transforming the lighthouse into an open, hands-on cultural cultural and tourism space for both citizens and visitors.
I see. What other projects are planned? Do we know?
As construction enters its second year, Korea's first eco-friendly hybrid buoy maintenance vessel with a capacity of 600 tons will be used to gradually strengthen maintenance capabilities for navigational aids across the East Sea region. Further plans include detailed safety inspections of aging facilities, the design of docking facilities for unmanned lighthouses, and maintenance of channel marker poles, all aimed at improving the durability of navigational aids and creating a safer operating environment for maritime activities.
Ah, yes. So I can see the need for this, and thanks for giving us the details on this one. Moving to our next story, we're hearing that there will be a special investigation to ensure food safety ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday.
Yes, Busan City will launch a 4-week special planned investigation into food safety for the Lunar New Year 설날 starting next Monday on the 19th. The main targets include food manufacturers and sellers of holiday ceremonial foods, ready-to-eat and convenience foods, sesame oil, and health supplements, as well as livestock product processors and retailers.
Oh, and this is important because when we talk about food, we want to be extra careful. What will the investigation mainly focus on?
Key areas of investigation include false or misleading origin labeling, violations of food handling standards and specifications, and false or exaggerated claims or advertisements regarding disease prevention or treatment. The city will conduct on-site inspections alongside laboratory testing by specialized institutions. If illegal activities are uncovered during the investigation, authorities will take action in accordance with relevant laws, including filing criminal charges or notifying the appropriate agencies.
Yes. So thanks for letting us know all the local news for today. Take care. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Jian.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be back with your traffic and weather. It is time for your traffic report. There are multiple accidents to report on. First up, on Suyong Gangbyeon-daedo from Centum City intersection to Banyo Agricultural Market intersection right in front of Changsan Middle School. Another accident on Chungjang-daedo from Budu intersection to Pier number 4 by the Choryang underpass number 2 involving 2 cars and a cargo truck. And there are 2 accidents on Gyeongbuk Expressway going towards Seoul, both around Yangsan. There is severe backup, so please be aware of this. It's also slow on Mandok-daedo from Mandok Cathedral to Namhae Expressway, the Deokjeon ramp. Currently, it's -2 degrees Celsius under clear skies here in Busan. It's going to go up to 7. Busan City is under a dry weather special report and a cold wave preliminary impact report. Across the country, it is well below freezing with a daytime high to go up to anywhere between, the high might be even -1 in some areas and other areas up to 10 degrees, so there is a big regional difference. Roads may be icy, so please be extra careful when driving. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Top Stories. We have Haley in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can I give everybody an update? Because remember I said, I hope it's a baby?
Yeah.
It's not. 다 큰 성인이었습니다.
Wow. I mean,
you know,
like, also, I have so many questions. Like, how far away from the destination were you guys? Did you have to, stay? I mean, I'm assuming you had to stay. You couldn't just get out. But yeah, many questions.
Let's hear your story.
Just like little ones into a big one. Like, I love it when people fight on the phone. And I'm like, can you put it on speaker? Because I want to get they're always both sides to the story.
The whole team.
Or ma'am, like, I'm going to make a judgment. I need all sides. But
Have you ever seen the film 엽기적인 그녀?
Uh-huh.
The beginning subway scene? When the woman throws up. Yeah, I've seen that in person.
Yeah.
Thankfully not on a person, but yeah.
Did you see the result thereof, or did you actually see the spewing?
All of the above. I was there because there was a girl, which I colloquially call the drunk train, which is usually the final trains on Friday nights or Saturday nights where you like get secondhand drunk just from the smells. I think I was working I was sober. And then there was a girl, I think it was her birthday. Her head was on top of her cake box. Not in the cake, but she was asleep and then stuff. And it was the parting of the Red Sea. We all just kind of dissipated.
Wow.
Huge radius around her. So yeah. Maybe not 7 a.m. talk, but yeah.
I got to take the late train one of these days.
Yeah,
I've not seen
you see things.
Interesting things. We're going to dive into a top story, and this is serious. The final hearing and sentencing request for former President Yoon Suk-yeol.
Right, so after a few days of delay, the Choon-seok Special Counsel requested capital punishment. That would be the death penalty for ex-President Yoon Suk-yeol. The final hearing in the insurrection trial took place yesterday, which pretty much lasted all day. So at the end of the hearing, the Special Counsel said that the martial law incident was a fundamental infringement of national security and the people's survival, that the then president betrayed his duty to protect the Constitution, adding that this was an anti-state or a treasonous activity. The special counsel cited acts including Yoon allegedly dispatching troops to the National Assembly, the National Election Commission, and also attempting to cut off water and power to media outlets as such acts. As for the intent behind martial law declaration, the council said that the former president aimed to lengthen his power by taking over the judiciary and the legislature.
Well, did the special counsel say why it chose to request this maximum sentence?
Right, so there were only 3 options on the table, as the legal sentencing for insurrection is the death penalty, life imprisonment, or life sentence without labor. And the special counsel here obviously chose the highest option possible. The council did acknowledge that South Korea in reality does not actually carry out or execute people who are on death row, but that the death penalty has not been abolished. Reasoning, according to the special counsel, being that capital punishment in South Korea is not a sentence that the country executes, but it is the community showing its intention to respond to grave criminal acts through trial.
I see.
By the way, the only other person to receive the death penalty as a sentencing request for insurrection was ex-President Chun Doo-hwan for the May 17th martial law declaration in 1980. In fact, the trial was held in the very courtroom where the sentencing for both Chun Doo-hwan and Do Tae-woo came down 30 years ago.
Oh, I see. What did Yoon's defense say?
Right, so let's go to the other side. His defense carried on a lengthy final argument yesterday.
Right.
And that was the considerably shortened version of the 8-hour planned one. His defense emphasized that governance back then in 2024 was paralyzed due to the Democratic Party, then the minor party or opposition party, wielding its majority, as well as election fraud conspiracies.
Yes.
They actually made several comparisons and metaphors throughout the argument, but the notable ones was comparing the ex-president to Galileo Galilei, who claimed that the earth revolved around the sun until the very end. Basically saying that, using this as a metaphor, that the majority opinion does not always mean the truth. The ex-president also chimed in throughout the arguments. The defense also compared the then opposition party and its mass majority to the Nazi party and Hitler. As for ex-President Yoon, he was seen smiling and even laughing during the special counsel's arguments, including when they said he allegedly ordered for the arrest of lawmakers. And even at the moment that the special counsel requested the death penalty, he looked at the special counsel and had a small smile.
Well, several others stood trial with the former president. What sentences are they facing?
Right. So the special counsel requested a life in prison for ex-defense minister Kim Yong-hyun. The council also requested a 30-year prison sentence for the former defense intelligence commander Do Sang-won.
So there you have it. One of the biggest domestic stories. We'll continue to follow this, of course. All right, next up, I talked about some university-related figures in the opening, but let's go to the lower end of that education spectrum, elementary school students.
Remember when you were in elementary school or waivers and there were like 30, 40, maybe even 50 kids in school?
Depending on how old you are.
That's true.
Yes.
Not anymore. The number of school-age children, that figure continues to go down, will fall below the 300,000 marker for the first time for incoming first graders. So this is according to the Education Ministry data for school-age students. The projected number of incoming first grader for this coming March stands at 289,178. This is the first time that the figure, again, falling below that 300,000 threshold. What's notable is that the Education Ministry had initially projected that drop to come in 2027, but we've unfortunately, overachieved, underachieved. This is a year earlier. The projection is based on population figures, resident registration statistics, and education figures.
And this is a reflection of how rapidly the population has been going down.
Right. So it is the speed that's also concerning. With the impact of the low birth rate, the number of first graders, that figure has gone from the peak of 713,000 in 1999.
Okay.
That broke below the 700,000 marker the following year, and it's been faltering fast. 400,000 range in 2009, rapidly falling to 300,000 this year. So this means that the overall school-age students, we're talking elementary, middle to high schools, were breaking another unfortunate milestone, down from just over 5 million last year to 4.83 million this year.
I see. And this means more schools will have to shut down.
Right. It's not just the figure of the students. We're already seeing elementary, middle, and high schools closing their doors or even merging. This is a challenge for universities as well, as we talked about in the opening, more so for regional, local universities. The Education Ministry then also announced plans to cut down on the number of teachers' quota. So all of this will be or is inevitable, but it affects the job market and even the local economy.
Yes, indeed. So, wow, going down very quickly, that number. Now let's move on to some international news. President Donald Trump has been mulling various responses regarding Iran, and it seems that he is starting with an economic response.
Right, and as you mentioned in news overview, he's really ramping up the rhetoric, but the previous day, Trump has played the tariff card once again, but as a way to exert pressure, not directly on Iran, but its allies. So President Trump said on Monday local time that he is imposing a 25% tariff on goods from countries with commercial ties or that do business with Iran. Again, not a direct tariff on Iranian goods,
right?
But on countries that do business with Iran. So these tariffs would be on the country's goods that enter the United States.
Okay, we need specifics. Which countries are we talking about?
The White House actually did not give a list or what even, quote, doing business, unquote, would entail.
Okay.
However, reports are listing China as Iran's largest trading partner, followed by Iraq, the UAE, Turkey, or India. China, for reference, is the biggest importer of Iranian oil. But for China, this could be a salt on the wound because it's also a big importer of Venezuelan oil as a major energy source. And of course, this is under basically U.S. controls at this point.
Yes. Well, staying on the U.S., we are seeing the first ever public dispute between a U.S. president and the sitting chair of the Federal Reserve.
Right. It's the Trump versus Powell fight. Remember that moment from last year, when President Trump had claimed that the Federal Reserve had spent too much money renovating its offices? Very public video when Jerome Powell basically said, that's not true. Let me see the figures. Well, this is a legal case now. The Justice Department has subpoenaed the Federal Reserve with the threat of a criminal indictment. So that's a lot of legalese. Let's go through that. A subpoena is essentially a legal order forcing someone to testify. In this case, it's in front of a grand jury. I'll get to that in a bit, but subpoena, 대배심 증언 명령입니다. A grand jury, this is before a trial. Basically, they decide whether there's enough evidence to open a trial, charge an accused person.
And you mentioned that the case surrounds the Fed office, the building renovations?
On the surface.
Okay.
Right. So Chairman Jerome Powell said that this was related to his testimony before the Senate back in June about the renovation of the Federal Reserve office buildings. This is something, as we referenced, that President Trump has criticized Powell over because apparently the budget was initially $2.7 billion. That went over $3.1 billion.
Yes. But like you alluded to already, there's a lot more beneath the surface.
So Trump has previously demanded that the Fed lower interest rates on multiple occasions and has consistently attacked Powell and other board members. This has gotten even more severe recently with affordability. That is the big word, being a key phrase with the midterm elections coming up later this year. Powell stated that this was the latest way for the administration to try to pressure what's supposed to be an independent central bank.
Yes.
The timing is also notable because it doesn't seem like it's only at the chairman because Powell's term as the chair runs out in May. So he could have waited just 3 months, but Powell does have the right to serve on the board until January of 2028. So he will still be a voice. So pundits are saying that this isn't just targeted at Powell himself, but to the greater board and even a preemptive message for whomever takes over as chair next.
Right, but this naturally brings up major concerns.
Again, if the Federal Reserve is not an independent organization, then it kind of throws the question of, credibility. And 3 former Fed chairs, Janet Yellen, Ben Bernanke, and Alan Greenspan, along with 10 other eminent former officials, strongly criticized the investigation. Economic experts have also warned that if the White House further pressures rate lowering, they could experience another great inflation that the world saw in the 70s. Similar case here, then President Richard Nixon pressured the Fed to lower rates, and the Federal Reserve did. And then it was a whole host of a perfect storm, giant inflation on top of the 70s. There was the oil shock and the government deficit, spiked the consumer price index, key index of inflation, to over 10%.
Yes. So a lot to unfold this morning in terms of news. Thanks for explaining everything. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We are ready for our first song break of this Wednesday morning. So this is Higher by Ailey.
그래도 난 기억하고 말 거야. 그 누가 뭐라 해도 아무것도 들리지 않아. 모든 걸 내 뜻에 날 맡길 거야. Going higher, 날 막을 수는 없어. 내가 가는 이 길에 더 이상 두려움은 없어. Going higher,
It is time for Now and Next. We have Lian here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I'm so curious if you have any interesting stories about the most shocking thing that you've seen or experienced on public transportation or just in public, generally speaking.
I have.
Yes.
Let me say, I went to a water park this past weekend, but it didn't happen there. But it reminds me of the shocking incident that I have experienced long ago.
Yes.
There was a big swimming pool. There's a lot of hotels on Haeundae Beach that are gone now.
Yes.
But there used to be a swimming pool there that I used to go to. And my eyes were really bad. Before I got my LASIK surgery. So even with the goggles on,
it's worse, right?
I can't see. And you know where the story is going. So I was at the kids' pool because I was a kid. And I was just like, I see something in the bottom of the pool. And because being the blind me, I swam so close to the mysterious thing because I thought it was like someone's key or like
something.
And as I got as close as this much is when I realized it was someone's poo-poo. Yes. And do you know what I did? I went like this opposite way to get away, like an octopus, like a squid. And I like
get away.
I was like, like bubbling in my mouth. And yes, that was like one of my traumatic experiences. So after that, I have like this little bad habit of always like, looking at the floor when I go to kids' pools.
I definitely
because someone needs to get that out, right?
No, I've seen the same thing at a water park. At a water park
recently.
And since then, it was about 6 years ago. I haven't gone back.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I know people do all kinds of things in the water, but please, please, people.
Number 2는 좀.
Okay. Well, let's get into Now and Next. What do you have for us?
Yes. I have to talk about this because we talk about trends.
Yes.
And what's trending now is this 두쫑쿠 that everyone's talking about, which, for your information, I have not tried yet.
Oh,
have you tried?
I have, only because I didn't go stand in line.
Right.
Just I don't stand in line, generally speaking. My youngest, she actually was gifted one. And then she's like, let's share it. And I was just like, 칼로 이렇게, like with a knife, like cutting it real, because you want to savor it and share it. And I was just like, okay.
And what was your take? May I ask?
It was okay.
It wasn't. You didn't understand the craze behind it, though.
But I don't normally understand the craze behind a lot of things, like the whole standing in line for like 3 hours or whatever it is.
Right.
Yes, and I know we kind of touched upon this yesterday with Haley, but from a completely different angle, from what I understand. So, what are we going to talk about regarding the 두쫑쿠?
Yes. So for those of you who might not have heard about 두쫑쿠, which yesterday I was on air with Minsu, he did not know what that was for.
진짜?
Shocking.
Minsu?
But it was Dubai 쫀득 cookie, right? And if you're on Instagram, it's everywhere.
It's
online,
everywhere.
it's all over SNS, and people are just raving about the taste, but also the visuals behind it, right? You said it's like a chewy, chocolatey thing. And again, we've heard, I thought, before I looked into it, I thought it was just I was like, same thing as Dubai chocolate because
It's
there was
different.
a craze behind that.
Right.
근데 왜 두쫑구랑 두바이 초콜릿이 뭐가 다를까라고 할 수 있는데, so but it does stem from the Dubai chocolate, right?
It's inspired by this, right?
It is. It's a little bit of a spin-off, let's say.
Yes.
So Dubai chocolate, that was a dessert that blended shredded pastry called kadeya, pistachio cream, and chocolate, and that went viral about. Back in 2024. And this was actually a Middle Eastern treat.
Yes.
Striking for its rich texture and exotic mix of flavors. But here in Korea, right, we like to bring trends in, but we don't like to just replicate. We like to put our own spin to it.
Sure.
So the local dessert makers basically fused the Dubai chocolate idea with a familiar concept here in Korea, which is the chewy cookie made able by chapsal.
Oh, we love the chapsal.
Right. So they took the flavor profile from the Dubai chocolate, which is pistachio, which apparently is expensive.
Yes.
And kadeya, and they combine it with a marshmallow-like stretchy mochi-style shell. And so thus has the creation of the Dubai chocolate chewy cookie. Well, I have a hard time pronouncing this.
Yes.
So everyone's talking about the 두쫑구, which I do want to try.
So it is a spin-off from the original Dubai chocolate craze. But why is it so I feel like this is even like a hotter trend because I have seen people lining up even in my neighborhood.
Really?
Every time there's a line, we just go, oh, that must be the 두쫑구. Because I'm like, we're not talking about just like 10, 20 people. We're like long lines wrapping around, right?
Yes. And even if you turn on the TV too, you see a lot of celebrities eating and raving about it as well. So it's actually the experience of the whole thing instead of just the dessert itself. So first the texture and look, like I said, for those of you who don't know what it looks like, it's a round cookie dusted with cocoa powder. So it looks like a piece of chocolate, basically, a round one. But when you cut or pull it apart, you get this striking contrast of like a bright green pistachio color. And apparently there's this thing to the sound of it when you bite into it. I've heard some descriptions like some people is the one of 호불호가 갈리는 맛이라고 했는데 some people who don't like it say it feels like you're biting into sand. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that texture, but some people liked it really crispy and very fun,
Flaky,
like wafers, right? So anyway, so this whole visual thing, the chocolate in the outside, but the green and crunchy, I don't know. It's not crunchy, it's not the word, but that in the inside, it's basically all the sources that you would need for social media content.
Yes.
So a lot of people have been, showing themselves eating it online. And so I think that's what the thing is. It's experience behind eating this very fun little dessert instead of the taste itself.
Right. And so, as you said, it's kind of divisive. Some people really like it. People who are maybe, into the trends and they like trying new stuff. And then we have like people like 고수님. 저는 좋아하는 스타일이 아니었던 것 같아요. So, I mean, it's like,
그래도 try 해보셨다니 부럽네요.
And I regret like not taking a photo. I just got a little piece. So.
Right, because apparently people say if you get like someone gifts you one, 진짜 사랑하는 거라고 요즘 하더라고요.
그러니까요.
누가 그렇게 사랑해서 그걸 선물해 줬냐.
그러니까요. So hence I didn't get it directly. My daughter was gifted
Your
it by
daughter
somebody.
loved you.
Somebody loved my daughter and she shared that love with me. So thank you.
Lots of love.
Yes, lots of love. All right. Yes. Anything else?
So do you know how hard we talked about how people are lining it up to get these. So in many dessert shops and department store food halls, we see a lot of people, queuing for hours just to get a little bit of taste. But it's not just, we would think the traditional bakeries would be the only ones, hopping on the trend. But it's everywhere from sandwich shops to pizza parlors, even meat pie spots. They're all just trying to capitalize on this Dubai cookie chewy trend. So everyone's selling this.
like I think I may have told the story a couple days back, but I have an acquaintance who has a yogurt, the famous yogurt shop that was also trendy for a while.
Oh, right.
That one.
Oh, are they going away now?
No, but that shop, she has a shop, and they sell these.
What? That's so like.
했는데.
Well, I guess dessert.
Right.
Same category. 했는데.
She can't keep them in stock. She has all her adult children, all three of them, helping make.
They actually make
하루 종일
it.
그거를 했는데도 they can't keep them in stock.
Wow, I think that's the business to be in these
so
days.
how much do they cost? Because I haven't actually gone to buy one.
Right. So, in my perspective, for a piece of cookie, it's a bit pricey, but it is trendy. So the ingredients like marshmallow, pistachio paste, and caviar, apparently they are costly and tricky to source.
Yes.
They range from as low as 5,000 won to 10,000 won each.
Yes.
And again, the price don't matter if you can find it
for a cookie.
People are just snatching them off the shelf. So, right. And some places also have even limited number of cookies each customer can buy. And others, I know a friend who don't. What do you call it? Like open run 안 하고 open run to the application, delivery application. So when the store opens, they
immediately.
Deliver to buy just the cookie to my store stuff. And maybe I'm going to try that one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to our next trend, which is...
Right. So it's also kind of like become this trend of this corner where every time in the beginning of the year, we talk about the color of the year.
What was it last year? Mocha brown or something?
Mocha mousse.
Mocha mousse, right?
You have good memory. I was going to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, brown was the color, which is why I bought a lot of things brown last year.
Yes.
But apparently, guess what this color is this year?
I don't know. Okay.
Any guesses?
It has to be something quite different from the mocha mousse.
Right. Everyone's tired. Everyone wants to relax these days.
Yeah.
Something very laid back.
Something a little, I don't know. It might be another neutral. I haven't looked ahead. Or maybe like a pastel. I don't know. I have no idea.
Like your colors today.
Oh, yes.
Actually, the color is in your sweater.
Is it?
It is the cloudy cloud dancer.
Cloud dancer.
Which is basically a white, but a little bit of off-white.
Ooh.
Yes.
I didn't even know I'm trendy.
It's in you.
Trendy. Yes, it's in me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All right, that's the color. I love the name of it though, right? The cloud dancer.
But I love the video. Look at it, she's like
I'm dancing in the clouds.
I love it. I love it.
It feels like freedom.
It does.
Yeah. It's a video.
Look at
Ta-da, ta-da, and then her clothes are like shoes flying in the air.
Love it. Yes.
Right. So this is, like you said, it's not anything bold, nothing playful. It is just. It feels like nothing. It's just like white. It feels relaxing.
But not like a pristine white. But I get it.
It's a bit of like a grayish tone to it almost, right?
Almost, yes.
So the people behind people that came up with the color of the year, they explain it this way. Because we're living in a noisy, overloaded world.
Okay.
And what people are craving right now isn't more stimulation. They want some balance. They want space. They want a little, they want to take a pause.
Okay.
So white in this case, it doesn't represent emptiness. It's more like a blank canvas. So it represents quiet, a resetting our lives, and the idea of starting again without any pressure. So even when you look at the bigger picture, it kind of makes sense because that's kind of the sentiment that we've been talking about for the past few years.
Sure.
Everything has been quite... but looking back at the colors of the year in the past, it has been quite loud, actually. Even the mocha mousse, quite dark.
Yes.
And bright visuals. But now that choosing white is kind of a rebellion against those past trends, saying, what if, less is enough?
Sure.
And what if calm has a value in it of itself? So that's why people... the white has become the color of the year.
Okay, that is the color of the year, cloud dancer. However, I think for some people, they might feel like white is a little risky. And, just as a woman, I think sometimes we avoid white in some areas because we'll feel like it's going to make me look fat. First
Exactly.
of all,
It's
I'm
a
just
hard
saying,
color
it's
to
a hard
dress.
color, right?
Yes.
Or people might say it's a little boring. It's a little vanilla. It's a little bland, right?
So there are a lot of debate around this, whether it's good or not. But the debate around the critics who are against this color call it's a dull. And it feels disconnected from everyday reality. It doesn't reflect what the era that we're living in.
Yes.
And some even argued that it's a color of the privilege because it's like keeping things clean and pristine. And not everyone can do that. And if you're not living a life without mess or instability.
True.
But the supporters of the color says that white is not a symbol of luxury. It can be seen as a symbol of relief. Again, in a time when people feel emotionally cluttered and there's a lot of financial instability, white becomes like kind of the signal to tell everyone, slow down, relax. It's okay to, not think of anything and just be a blank canvas for a little bit. So that's and also minimalism is also a thing these days, right?
It is.
And also minimalism, smaller spaces, quiet cafes, smaller weddings. Everything is becoming very downsized these days. So
right.
People say it's a representative of that kind of a lifestyle.
This color also reminds me of kind of like a 비둘기, but like a not a pigeon, like a dove. You know what I'm talking about?
A dove.
A dove.
Yeah, pigeon and dove is like strongly different.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the same species, but like
yes.
dove.
Are they technically the same species?
Isn't a dove a pigeon? Or is it?
그렇구나.
I'm not
더브는
sure.
좋은데 피지는 좀 힘든데.
Yeah. Well, in Korean, isn't it 비둘기?
Yes.
똑같은 비둘기잖아요.
그치, 도브라고 안 할 거예요.
But we're gonna think dove.
We're gonna think dove.
And we're gonna end it on that note.
Yes.
On that happy, positive note.
Let's wear dove, everyone.
Yes, I'm already wearing it without knowing. So, you kind of
dovey,
dovish.
조금.
Yes, 조금. Well, we're gonna call it a wrap, and of course, we will check in with you soon. Is it okay to say? Okay, so Lian will be gone for a few weeks while she tends to some stuff and
personal business.
Yeah, personal business, and then she'll be back though. So
I'll be back, Rabian. So miss me, please.
we will. Thank you, Lian.
Okay, bye.
All right, it is time for a final song for hour number 1. Let's wrap it up with 너는 나, 나는 너 by Zico. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
넌 나고 난 너야 난 너고 넌 나야 마음이 같다면 둘은 서로가 될 거야 넌 나고 난 너야 그게 너무 좋아 오그라든다는 말은 누가 만든 걸까 Girl 뺨 한 대만 때려줘 며칠 사이 그게 무슨 일이 벌어진 건지 전혀 침번호 띄우고 힙합만 듣던 난 어쿠스틱해졌어 Tell me what you want from me 가장 예쁠 나이 실컷 사랑해봐야 돼 네 사연 속에 나오는 swaggy 걔랑은 비교도 안 되게 내가 잘할게 왜냐면 넌 나고 난 너야 난 너고 넌 나야 마음이 같다면 둘은 서로가 될 거야 넌 나고 난 너야 그게 너무 좋아 오그라든다는 말은 누가 만든 걸까 Okay Listen 친구들이 말해도 때야 난 딱히 걱정 없고 하도 좋아서 문제야 이거 봐 욕도 줄이고 있고 바지도 올려 입고 아무한테나 미소 안 보이고 있어 얼굴만 봐 고칠 때가 어딨어 민낯일 때 제일 이뻐 이 장면 우리 엄마 보면 기절할 노릇일걸 더 이상의 표현은 아낄게 사실 너 이름만 옮겨 적으면 그만인데 I believe in destiny 사조나 타로 카드 좀 쳐주면 나만 안해 yeah. 집착도는 이전 넘치 집 근처도 얼씨 못하게 내가 잘할게 왜냐면 Because 넌 나고 난 너야 난 너고 넌 나야 마음이 같다면 둘은 서로가 될 거야 넌 나고 난 너야 그게 너무 좋아
안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
I was so busy this morning. I didn't even get to check my messages. I almost got hit.
Here comes the safety hero. Stop right there, Smombi. Put your phone away. Keep your head up. Look around.
What was I doing?
Thank you. I'm finally free from being a smombie.
As you just heard, even a quick text could lead to a serious accident. This kind of behavior has a name, smombi, a word created by combining smartphone and zombie.
Walk with your head up and check your surroundings before you move. Let's build a safer traffic culture and keep our streets free from smombies. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
아직 어렵게 느껴지는 영어. 아이들 영어는 어떻게 챙기시나요? 부산 영어방송이 준비한 어린이 영어 콘텐츠 세상. DIYFM 키즈 영상 채널이 여러분을 찾아갑니다. 샘 해밍턴과 윌 벤저스 그리고 모모랜드 낸시가 함께하는 DIYFM 키즈에서 영어로 듣는 부산 설화와 전래동화, 재밌는 파닉스 영어, 신나는 K-팝 영어까지 만나보세요. 우리 아이의 영어 실력과 창의력을 쑥쑥 키워줄 특별한 어린이 영어 채널 DIYFM 키즈가 여러분을 기다립니다. 지금 바로 DIYFM 키즈를 검색하고 구독해주세요.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. Welcome back. This is Spotlight News. Special counsel requests death penalty for Yoon Suk-yeol. The special counsel has demanded the death penalty for former President Yoon Suk-yeol on charges of allegedly leading an insurrection attempt via his martial law declaration in 2024. The Cho Won-suk special counsel requested the sentence during the final hearing of Yoon's insurrection trial yesterday, along with a life sentence for ex-defense minister Kim Yong-hyun. In his final 90-minute statement, Yoon reiterated his claim of innocence, arguing that the exercise of a president's constitutional state emergency right cannot constitute an insurrection. The ruling will be announced on February 19th. President Lee Jae-myung emphasizes trilateral cooperation with China and Japan. President Lee Jae-myung held a summit with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi yesterday, where he emphasized the need for trilateral cooperation between and among Seoul, Beijing, and Tokyo. Yi, in a joint press conference after the summit, said that the three countries should find common ground in order to communicate and cooperate, as tensions have been running high between Beijing and Tokyo. He also said that he and Takaichi shared a consensus on the importance of bilateral ties and trilateral cooperation among Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo to ensure regional peace and stability amid a rapidly changing global landscape. Court approves arrest warrant for Pastor Chun Kwang-hoon. Pastor Chun Kwang-hoon of Sarang-Jae Church has been put under arrest as he faces charges of allegedly inciting the riot at the Seoul Western District Court last year. The court yesterday approved the warrant, citing a possibility that the conservative activist pastor may attempt to destroy evidence and that he posed a flight risk.
The police argues that Chun used his followers' faith to allegedly gaslight them and that he financed the right-wing YouTubers to incite the riot. Chun claims that this is a politically charged ploy against him. PPP strikes Han Dong-hoon's membership. The People Power Party, or PPP Ethics Committee, made a late-night decision to remove former chair Han Dong-hoon's party membership over allegations of his family's posts on the party's online board. The committee ruled that his family members' multiple critical posts on the party's website constituted an obstruction of the party's activities, finding Han in violation of the party's rules. Han wrote a short statement on social media that he will protect a democracy with the people following the ruling. Trump urges Iranians to continue protesting. U.S. President Donald Trump has urged anti-government protesters in Iran to keep protesting, saying help is on its way as he issued a warning against those killing the protesters. President Trump said that he has canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the killing of protesters stops. His national security team is expected to meet to discuss intervention options. Meanwhile, an Iranian security official told a foreign press outlet that the death toll could be around 2,000, including security personnel. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for a special interview. Today, President Lee Jae-myung is wrapping up his two-day visit to Japan, where he held a summit with Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. It was her second meeting since Takaichi took office last year and the fifth Korea-Japan summit since President Lee's inauguration. The talks took place in Nara Prefecture, the Prime Minister's hometown, with both leaders pledging to strengthen bilateral cooperation amid growing global uncertainty. Joining us today is Professor Stephen Nagy, professor in the Department of Politics and International Studies at International Christian University, Tokyo, and a distinguished fellow at the Asian Pacific Foundation in Canada, a fellow at the Canadian Global Affairs Institute, and a visiting fellow at the Japan Institute for International Affairs. Hi, welcome to the program, Professor.
Hey, good morning. Great to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Well, the two leaders stressed cooperation amid global uncertainty. So how important is that message right now for Korea-Japan relations?
This is a super question, so thank you very much. I think both Japan and South Korea face uncertainty from the East and from the West. And what I mean is that we have a new, well, he's not new anymore, but we have President Trump in the White House. His diplomacy and foreign policy is, needless to say, unorthodox, and he's charting a path forward that I think is very destabilizing for South Korea and Japan. And then to the east, we have China, and China has a stagnating economy, but it has these 2049 China Dream goals that really bring a lot of uncertainty for both Seoul and Tokyo in terms of what is Beijing's long-term ambitions, what happens if it engages in a forced reunification with Taiwan, and how does this negatively affect the economies in both countries. So, it's outside forces that are pushing Seoul and Tokyo together, understanding that they need to build stability into the region, and they can't rely on their traditional partner or their traditional economic partner.
Yes, and President Lee also talked about finding common ground among Korea and China, Japan, the three countries. Is this realistic given the current tensions between China and Japan?
Well, I mean, you speak Korean, I speak Japanese and Chinese, and there's interesting expressions of how these leaders talk about trilateral relations. they usually talk and they say, well, let's talk about having the talks to have talks about potentially deepening relations. And this is how it sounds quite natural in Korean or Chinese or Japanese, but when I talk like this in English or French, you're going to go, this doesn't sound normal at all. And that is generally the tone that I think President Yi said, and as well as Prime Minister Takichi. And to be frank, General Secretary Xi Jinping, they all talk the same way, understanding that there's huge obstacles in the trilateral relations, whether it's history, whether it's security, whether it's Chinese long-term ambitions, or the slowing economy in all three states.
Indeed. I fully get what you're talking about, Professor. Well, both sides reaffirmed close coordination on North Korea. So what does that cooperation actually look like going forward?
So the bilateral cooperation between Seoul and Tokyo actually is not just bilateral cooperation. We have sanctions, evasion, cooperation, drills or missions between Japan, South Korea, but also Canada, where I'm from, and New Zealand, Australia, and other countries. So this is constantly happening to try and ensure that North Korea doesn't get the precursors for further development of its weapons of mass destruction program. Seoul and Tokyo want to maximize what we call domain awareness. So they want to make sure they understand where North Korea is placing its short, mid, and longer-range missile systems. They want to prevent further development of chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons. And lastly, I think they really want to observe, what is the degree of cooperation between Russia and North Korea in terms of satellite production, what kinds of technologies from Russia are being delivered to North Korea to refine its launch systems. And then lastly, I think they're really looking for what kind of cooperation is happening between China and North Korea. So they have a lot on the plate. And again, they don't have the reliable partner in Washington, so they need to work together and converge on a lot of different spaces.
Yes, indeed. I hear that the leaders also agreed to pursue DNA identification for families of the 1942 Josei coal mine accident. So, assuming that this does go forward, why is this symbolically important for historical issues?
So, the South Korea and Japan have a dark past with Japan's imperialism and annexation of the Korean Peninsula. We know this history. It's dark and it's a different Japan than today. And I think Japan is looking to find ways to, put the past behind them by, helping identify the remains of those ethnic Koreans that died in this mine. And I think that this is a positive way to demonstrate, the sincerity about dealing with parts of the past. But I think President Yi and you mentioned in your pre-program news, President Yoon, they have all had a different vision of bilateral relations. I think understanding the importance of dealing with history, but dealing with history, behind closed doors. As soon as it gets in the public, it gets, social media gets a hold of it. And we also have outside players that deploy disinformation and wedge politics to try and drive a wedge between Seoul and Tokyo. I think two partners that really have so much in common. They share a lot of values and lifestyle. And again, at the people-to-people level, Koreans and Japanese certainly enjoy each other. And there's so much there, and outside players are always trying to drive it. So I think President Yi and Prime Minister Takichi understand that closed-door discussions about the past, comfort women, labor issues, is the way to move forward, not the public sphere.
I see. Well, this term, shuttle diplomacy, definitely in the rhetoric, and it keeps on coming up when we talk about Korea-Japan ties these days. Has it really helped to build this trust between the two governments? What's your take, Professor?
So, Catherine, I think it's really important that both leaders are spending time in each other's capitals. And, there's a couple reasons here. It's to build the leader-to-leader relationship, get some familiarity with, each other's capitals and cultures and history. But I also think, it provides the continuity in communication that's really important. Quite frankly, I would argue that, President Yi and Prime Minister Takichi need to be traveling throughout the region. Both Seoul and Tokyo, the nature of both cultures, they live in silos. Yes. And they talk to the same people all the time, and there's rigid hierarchies. And it works in Seoul and it works in Tokyo, but that's not the world. And whether it's Yi or Takichi, they need to get out of the world. They need to see their own countries from other countries' perspectives, so they can lose some of the parochialism and start to see how their countries fit within a larger puzzle, and the relations with how other countries see Korea or Japan or their bilateral relations. And let me finish on that. When, as a Canadians look at these two countries and they say they're such great friends, they're democracies, they have vibrant cultures. Of course, they have a dark past, but, they're both democracies now. Why don't they just live together? And I think many third countries see, South Korea and Japan that way, and they hope that they'll move in that way. So, again, getting out of each other's capitals is really important to drop the parochialism and start to move relations in a different direction.
I see. Well, lastly, the leaders framed this as the start of a new 60 years. What do you think will determine whether this momentum that we seem to be witnessing right now, whether that will continue or even last?
So we need another 60 years of peace and stability between South Korea and Japan. And I think what will determine this is probably three things. First, if there's continued unorthodox policy from Washington and assertive behavior from Beijing, this is definitely going to push the two states together. Two, they need to do more than just talk about security and economy. They need to build each other's connections in society, and that means people-to-people relations. And I think on the Japanese side, dealing with past issues such as the comfort women issue and labor issues, that's an absolute necessity. But on the Korean side, I think as well, they need to find ways to move past. So there's an interaction here. And then lastly, I think commitment from leaders to continue to move the momentum forward on both sides of the sea is that commit to deeper relations that are broad, not just the pillar of economy or the pillar of security. And that's critical to any momentum. And I think I'm quite positive, actually, where the two countries are going.
Yes. Well, definitely. Thank you so much for your insight today as we covered the summit between Korea and Japan, and wishing you the very best. Happy New Year, Professor.
Happy New Year, Catherine, and thanks to you and your team.
Once again, this was Professor Stephen Nagy talking about the summit that happened between President Lee and Prime Minister Takaichi. So we'll see if the next 60 years is what it promises to be. I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Here's your update on traffic. First up, the top portion of Gwangan Bridge is congested. It's also backed up on Luno-Samsung-daedo from Myeongji Underpass to Shinho Bridge. It's also looking slow on Gaya-daedo from Daegum to Jure intersection. It's also congested on Mandok-daedo from Sukdeung to Deokcheon intersection. Currently -1, it's going to go up to 7 today. Busan is under a dry weather special report and a cold wave preliminary impact report. Across the country, well below freezing temperatures. The daytime high in some areas are going to go up to -1. Some areas all the way up to 10 degrees. So there is a big difference depending on where you are. The roads may be icy, so please be careful when driving. This was your traffic and weather. And this is 향해 by Winter.
비춰준다면 그 순간만큼은 너 또다시 고개를 들고 너의 머리 위에 꼽힌 별들을 바라볼 수 있지 않을까. 빛을 쏟아내듯 너의 눈물은 어둠 속에서도 빛나고 움츠러진 어깨에 드리우는 그림자 그건 누군가 너의 날개를 감추기 위해 어제 지난 길 위엔 너의 눈물이 남았고 마르기도 전에 너는 다시 걷고 있지만 언젠가 마주할 그날에 넌 오늘을 꼭 기억할 거야. 긴 어둠 속을 항해하는 너의 바다에 내가 잠시나마 등대가 돼 널 비춰준다면 그 순간만큼은 너 또다시 고개를 들고 너의 머리 위에 꼽힌 별들을 바라볼 수 있지 않을까. 기적은 소리 없이 우릴 찾아오니까 아직 너의 눈엔 그 모습이 보이지 않아도 나는 느낄 수 있어. 아름답게 피어날 너의 내일 속 환하게 미소 짓는 너를 멀어 보인 꿈들은 한편 남은 거리만큼 가까워졌단 걸 넌 아직은 몰랐겠지만 하나 둘씩 쌓인 너의 시간은 원하는 그곳에 데려갈 거야. 긴 어둠 속을 항해하는 너의 바다에 내가 잠시나마 등대가 돼 널 비춰준다면 그 순간만큼은 너 또다시 고개를 들고 너의 머리 위에 꼽힌 별들을 바라볼 수 있지 않을까. 비가 내리고 나면 그때 널 위해 피어나 무지개가 너를 기다리고 있어. 어둠 속을 항해하는 너의 바다에 내가 잠시나마 등대가 돼 널 비춰준다면 그 순간만큼은 너 또다시 고개를 들고 너의 머리 위에 꼽힌 별들을 바라볼 수 있지 않을까.
It's time for Waglwagle Tea Time. Haley's back.
I am the least trendy person. Look at me in black when the color of the year is what is it?
What?
Cloud white? Cloud dancer.
Cloud dancer.
I can
How did
dance.
I'm going to be doing this all day.
like just this part.
This
that
is this
part.
part.
Yeah,
Yes.
the wrong. That's
Wrong.
lavender.
Listen.
Yeah.
Here, all morning. Yes, I will. I shall. Well, let's get into our first story. Winter vacation means, well, for some people, going abroad. Not us.
Not us.
Because we're live on air. But it also means 학원 특강, aka private classes here in South Korea. And the rush is so strong this year.
Also thank whatever deity that you believe in that this too is not us, nor your kid / my semi-kid.
Yes.
Right. So the CSATs or magma, 수능, right? The English portion, extremely difficult. Well, more students are anxiety-ridden and then this prompts that rush to your 방학 특강, right? The special classes. So according to the country's top private academies, they're collectively seeing about 10 to 20% increase in registration, especially for the CSAT retakers, 재수 특강 classes. So the hard CSATs this year, last year rather, was the cherry on top of the ongoing changes in the system.
Yes.
That 9-tier high school leveling, the 내신 will change. The integrated CSATs will start changing next year.
Right.
So this coming year, 수능 is deemed to be the final one for retakers to get their scores and get out, basically.
Yes. These classes, I know we're going to talk about like the average. These classes are super expensive.
Arm and a leg.
Yes.
Right? We're looking at winter vacation classes. So they're going for about 2 to 3 million won for 6 to 7 weeks. That is someone's salary for that same period. That's just for basic classes. If you're going to go super intense, like live-in, dorm, food, books, and mock test, all separate. Some private classes make these vacation classes optional. So it is, 특강 implies it's a special class. It's optional. However, some have that built into their curriculum. So they're saying because of the curriculum 진도, you need to take the vacation classes to be able to catch up to the regular classes.
Right.
Mind you, this is all private extra classes. But then despite the price tag, there are literally lines out the door.
Right.
Because apparently classes will start imposing penalties if you're late. So kids are lined up early on that open run again. And the waiting list, you can't even get on them.
Right.
The waiting lists are full. So the Ministry of Data and Statistic numbers, they put the total spending on private education at 29 trillion won as of 2024. That is up by 60% from 10 years ago.
Yes.
And then this creates this dilemma or a vicious cycle of anxiety prompting further spending on private education. And then if one person is and that kid happens to be at the top of your class, then the rest of you get FOMO, fear of missing out. Should I go? Am I going to miss out?
Absolutely. Yeah. So once again, the fervor continues. Well, it is still New Year's resolution time, and many of our resolutions have to do with making better dietary choices.
I've already failed, but I hope you're all doing better. So it's not only about losing weight.
Right.
If that's your goal, so be it, but about your health. I'm obsessed with getting more fiber every day.
Yes.
And we do generally think of Korean food as being healthy, right? If I'm going to try to eat healthy, I'm going to try to get more bantans in, right? The full story, however, could be more complicated. Yeah, so this is joint research by the Seoul National University Medical School and School of Nutritional Sciences. This study was published in the International Journal Epidemiology and Health. 6% of all cancers in South Korea are directly correlated to your eating.
So what kind of eating habits are we talking about?
Salted and or pickled vegetables. So that is what? Pickles and kimchi.
That's right.
The research team estimated that there's a 2% correlation between such pickled vegetables and cancer outbreaks. But then you look at the body parts that are directly linked. Your stomach cancer, 44% correlation. Again, correlation, not causality. We're not saying any food is causing cancer directly, but there's a relationship. Good news, though, the rate of salted and pickled vegetable consumption, so how much you're eating it, that's been on the downturn, and that is linked to the government's sodium reduction or sodium natrium reduction policy.
Yes.
Another bit of good news, we're also not eating as much red meat to the point that this could be contributing to cancer risks.
Okay. But what about other habits that South Koreans just can't seem to kick?
Or get more of. Again, going back to my fiber obsession, fiber, 식이섬유. Fruits and vegetables and non-starchy vegetables at that. So yes, potato is a vegetable, but you're not getting fiber out of potato. And sweet potatoes as well. So South Korea's daily vegetable and food intake is about 340 grams. Remember that. The international recommendation, minimum 490 up to 730. So we're getting like half. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. All right. Everybody go eat a head of cabbage.
Okay.
The lack of fiber can increase your cancer risks in colon cancer, stomach, and even respiratory systems. So to sum up, cut down on salt.
Yes.
Eat more vegetables and fruits and eat less processed meat.
Got it. Thank you for the information.
I know.
But we gotta really try.
I know.
It's like, as our Tweety Bird says, 그걸 몰라서가 아니잖아요.
몰라서 안 하는 게 아니죠.
그렇죠. 알긴 아는데 we know.
진짜.
알죠.
But then it's like such a dilemma because like if you eat kimchi, you're getting fiber, but then you're getting the salt. So
Yes.
it's like, ooh.
That's true. Because with the fermentation, I talked about how, like, you know, it's made, as an example, good gut health. Fermented food, but just limited amounts. Let's move on. There is an interesting case of a real life David versus Goliath, but it's wildlife?
It's wildlife animals. Yeah, that is correct.
Real life and wildlife.
Real life and wildlife. That is wild. So there's a Korean saying, right? 작은 고추가 맵다, which means like the smallest pepper is usually the spiciest or the feistiest. It often tends to be true. So in this case, a small 13-kilogram deer.
A deer.
사슴 headbutts a rhino. 콧불소. Ta-da! I love that.
That's not AI?
It's real. It's not AI. I know. It's like my least favorite question. It's not AI. That rhino weighs 1.7 tons.
Are they just like rubbing heads? They're really butting heads?
Well, the rhino probably thinks it's like being tickled. The deer is like full out mad. So this is at a zoo in Poland. The deer, small male, is Tata. Standing its ground and charging at Maruska, a female rhino, clashing into the horn with its cute little tiny antlers.
Aw, I love the names though. It's like Tata and Maruska, right?
It fits.
Yes. So why was Tata so mad?
All right, so a little bit of backdrop. Because you could be like, is that safe? Are the zookeepers being irresponsible? They're fine. The zookeeper explained that particular species of deer and rhinos, they often interact both in captivity, meaning in the zoo, and in nature.
Okay.
They usually get along fine. But Tata was hormonal. He was in heat, got carried away by his hormones.
Okay.
And also the zookeeper added that the rhino was honestly like, that's cute. All right, let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun.
Okay.
So on a social media post, the zoo joked in Polish that someone probably forgot to look in the mirror this morning.
Might it be Tata?
It might be Tata. So he has to discharge energy and show who's boss, even if that includes sparring with the 1.7-ton rhino. But then who would have thought that such a warrior lurks in the tiny body? Again, proving the spiciest peppers are often the smallest.
And Tommy with this comment, oh dear.
Oh dear.
I love it. Oh dear, dear. I'm going to think about that all day. All right. For our final story, let's talk about this. This is related to our text topic. London subway riders definitely saw something unusual this past weekend.
Pantless riders.
바지가 없는 거죠?
바지 안 입은.
Okay,
바지 안 입은. Right. 하의 실종. Right? People, yeah, we're not going to throw up photos. Don't worry.
No. 사진 없고요.
You are welcome to look it up. And this is called No Trousers Tube Ride. That's so British. So trousers. Is pants.
Yes.
Tube is what the Londoners call the underway rail, the subway.
Right.
That's what's called.
Right.
So this event works with participants. They gather at a prearranged meeting place. They're fully dressed, pants and all. And then they discreetly remove their pants and get on the subway.
How do you discreetly get out of it? I mean, come on.
I don't know. Maybe they're not like making a show out of it. So they are wearing underwear, and that is the rule.
Oh my gosh.
A few ground rules.
Yes.
It has to be covered. And by it, I mean it.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that.
Well,
Okay.
everything, all of it.
Yes.
Not transparent, not too small. So this is on a Sunday afternoon. So unsuspecting riders are like, what? What's happening? This isn't meant to be political. It is deliberately apolitical. They just want to have a little fun in the middle of, I imagine, London winters would be gray and monotonous. So doing something unexpected and maybe sharing a laugh. And the whole point is they're really nonchalant about it. You just go about, you're not drawing more attention to yourself.
You just
You're
drop your
maybe
pants.
on your phone, drop trout on your phone, just reading. So the stunt actually began in New York 20 years ago.
Right.
It's appeared in cities sporadically around the world. world. But London, the no trousers movement seems to be only existing in London right now. Yes, and they are quite set on keeping that tradition alive.
Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that some people don't find it funny.
Right, whether that be not funny anymore, that's the New York case, or never found it funny. Because, all right, and this is the bigger, sort of a darker picture, because there is sexual harassment on the subway, the groping. So one online outlet writer said that the event triggered a memory of a groping incident that she had to go through. Others pointed out, if it's a crowded subway, you don't want to potentially brush up against a person not wearing pants. Right. So an independent columnist, Ryan Coogan, pointed out that was a year ago. Many of the participants appear to be male, and that could be a huge problem for any woman or anyone of any gender who might feel vulnerable. And you just don't want to rub up against anything.
No, we don't want to rub up against anything. Okay. So thank you for all the woggly news, and we will look forward to tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
It's time for another song. Here it is, Pink by 권진아.
자꾸 생각이 나 맘이 소란스러워 너는 뭐라고 했을까 변하기만 하던 너였는데 왜 그랬는데 왜 다르게 보이는지 그러게 웃긴 것 같아 But it is what it is You know 언젠가부터 내 마음에 색은 바뀌었어 아마 그건 fake 정말 말도 안 되게 이제 친구로 보이지 않아 아직은 나의 make 터질까 나도 궁금해 How will this story go on Yeah I know it's weird Cause you're really my best friend 종일 구름 위를 걷는 느낌 이 느낌 혹시 네가 좋아진 걸까 별거 아닌 너의 말에 느닷없는 너의 배려에 조금씩 들었던 네 이상한 네 감정 물감이 번지듯이 천천히 번져갔던 것 같아 아마도 그랬나 봐 맘 끄트머리에 아직 남아있던 우정이라는 그 자리에도 이제 색이 번지고 있어 아마 그건 fake 정말 말도 안 되게 이제 친구로 보이지 않아 아직은 나의 fake 터질까 나도 궁금해 How will this story go on 내 마음은 fake Oh how do you feel 너는 내가 어떻게 하는 게 좋겠어 알고 싶어 What color is your mind 이미 내 색깔은 바뀐 지 오래야 이런 내 맘이 더 깊어질까 나도 궁금해 How will this story go on
It is time for Work in Progress. Guess who's here? Jennifer's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? You look so nice and cozy.
Oh, thank you.
And you're kind of the color you're wearing inside. Supposedly, this is the color of the year. What was it? I forgot the name of it. Cloud
It's like
Dancer?
cream.
Yeah. A hint of gray, maybe.
Oh.
Similar. You're wearing like a cream color. So just letting everybody spreading the word. Cloud Dancer is the color of the year.
Keeping up with the trend.
Yes. We just had Lian on and she was telling us about about the trend. I have a question for you. Today for a text topic, we're talking about the most shocking thing that you have seen or experienced on public transportation or just in public in general. Something that it doesn't have to be in Korea, but you saw something and you were just like, like, what did I just see? And this is in public? Like, anything like that?
I saw, like, recently, I saw someone eating 족발.
Where?
In the subway.
Because we had Lian on earlier in hour number 1. She was saying somebody was having like a full-on bowl of 돼지국밥 or some kind of 국밥.
돼지국밥. That's
on the subway, right? You saw someone enjoying 족발 on the subway.
Yeah, but
Is
I
there
think
a rule?
돼지국밥 is worse. With soup and
so
everything.
what if you spill it?
Yeah.
철렁철렁 하다가 okay.
People must be so hungry, like so starving.
I
to
want
do
to
that.
say that there must be a reason.
Yeah.
But then I don't know them, so I can't really defend that action.
And the smell.
The smell, right?
And everything, yeah.
I wonder if there's like a rule of thumb. Like you're like on subways, I've seen people like carrying food but not really eating it so
It makes
much.
me wonder whether they are like being selfish or they're not thinking at all.
I don't know. All right. Well, while we think about that, let's concentrate on work in progress.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Today, I want to talk about company workshops.
Oh.
It's that time of the year, right? In Korea, it's very common for companies to hold workshops once or twice or even 3 times a year, usually in the first half and in the second half.
Right. So if you live in Korea, you probably know what this is, right?
Yeah.
But why don't we explain? Because like, especially for non-Koreans, are like workshop, like what is this for?
Workshop, it's more of a like social gathering, and they are often held at training centers or hotel banquet halls. Sometimes just for a day, sometimes for several days. There's like some kind of training, like learning experience going on. And then also some recreation game.
I always say I see in K-dramas because I've never been to like a workshop here in Korea. Like K-drama 보면 like you see like the workshops and there's always some kind of like something going on like behind the scenes, right?
So mingling and lots of food, drinks. And everything.
현실은 없어요? Why did you burst my bubble, PD님? 진짜 없어요 그런 거? 전혀 없어요?
Not in reality.
Oh, it's only in the dramas? 사람이
설렐 뻔했다, 그죠?
저는 혼자서 그냥 드라마 보고 설렐게요. Okay, so going back to the serious side of workshops, for many people, maybe it's considered like a part of the whole work life.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yes. But I often get asked this question. Is this kind of workshop culture common in other countries as well? Yeah.
I don't know. That is a good
People
question.
Wonder, yeah.
Because I've heard of like retreats. We call usually in the States, we call them retreats, right?
Yeah.
But so give us the answer.
So, and the short answer is yes and no. Other countries do have workshops, like you said, retreats or offsites. But the meaning and the structures are quite different.
Right. So it already sounds quite different. In Korea, let's focus on Korea domestically. So what happens at workshops and explain if you could more?
In Korea, workshops are pretty much the norm.
Okay.
People expect it. And they are expected. They happen regularly. So you don't like have the year without workshop.
It's kind of a seasonal thing. Like you said, maybe H1, H2, or like whenever,
Exactly.
Right?
And in many global companies, workshops are much more purpose-based. They happen when there's a clear reason for it. And for example, new strategy is required, a team reset or a major change.
Maybe you're launching like a new product or project.
Yeah.
And so you need like that camaraderie and like getting together. Maybe?
Exactly.
Okay.
So not just because it's about time. There has to be a reason, right? And then that difference changes how we experience workshop.
Okay. So I'm sure like if you're going to a retreat or workshop and there's like a clear purpose, like we got to get started on this project. We need everybody there, 100% focus. I get it.
Yeah.
But it might be different, right?
Well, in Korea, workshops are often about bringing everyone together. There's strong emphasis on participation. Everybody must be there. And there's a bonding and shared experience. So doing things together.
Like
really matters. Yeah, physically.
Because I'm sure, depending on where you work, sometimes it's kind of like passing ships in the night. Like, for me, like I get off at around 9ish. And then I do whatever I need to do at my, my workstation. And then I leave to go to my other job. And so I don't really get to see other members of our BFM team. The entire, all the radio people here. So I do get it, like physically being together.
Yeah, being together. But globally, workshops are increasingly seen as a tool, not an event.
Okay.
It's just a part of a tool. Yeah.
Okay, tool for maybe like alignment, getting together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, clarifying how people work together, how decisions are made, and what the priorities actually are.
Okay, that makes sense. So not just team bonding, but team clarity. Tommy says, for our workshops, we normally go when we have like a special project, TF, like a task force. 이런 식으로 간대요.
네. There has to be a reason. So,
but he hates it, he says.
That's try to enjoy. Try to enjoy.
Yes.
In fact, one big trend globally is that traditional team building activities are becoming less central. They are not completely gone, but there's a priority shift.
So what about things like games and recreational activities? I was so looking forward to that. 우리 왜 안 해요 이런 거? I love it.
They are not completely gone, but they are no longer the main focus. Many employees now ask a very simple question: what will be different after this workshop? What's the reason? What's the purpose?
Right. Because as, an employee, one might wonder, like, I have so much work to do. 근데 이 workshop 하면, 그것도 하는 시간만큼, like, you have to, extrapolate that extra time and energy at the workshop. But then you still have all your work to complete, is what somebody says. Anonymous, Tweety Bird.
Yeah, I think many people can relate to that, right?
Okay, so in terms of other things we need to know, there might be, other issues, but what should we know more about this?
Well, it's not like everybody must be there thing.
Okay.
There's more consideration for personal circumstances, childcare, health, religious reasons, or simply like people have different energy levels.
That's true.
So not everyone may attend the event.
So is it now like attendance is more flexible?
Yeah. We cannot expect everyone to be there. But still, like most Korean companies, like it is an unwritten rule that you have to be there like physically.
안 가면 조금.
그렇죠. 네. And the flexibility is closely linked to inclusion. Workshops are no longer just about who shows up. They are about who feels comfortable showing up.
So that is an important shift, though.
Yeah, it is. For example, late night schedules or heavy drinking cultures are being questioned more openly. There's you cannot really see heavy drinking these days.
Well, I'm sure, especially if you work for a company where it's more like international or, people of different ages, it might be changing, right?
Yeah. But what used to be seen as team bonding can now feel excluding to some people because not everybody enjoys heavy meals and heavy drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, do companies have to rethink what bonding actually means?
Right. That definitely. Yeah. Another trend we see is the move away from long multi-day workshops.
Okay. So you're basically fewer overnight programs, maybe a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Yes. Much fewer. Instead, many organizations prefer shorter, more focused sessions, half-day workshops even, or a series of small meetings over time, online, offline, like combination.
Okay. So definitely maybe less in the duration of time, the time spent, but maybe more depth.
Yeah, that's what we see these days. And often a mix of, like I said before, mixture of online and offline sessions are common, so hybrid sessions.
And I can see actually that might be more conducive, like more people might willingly participate if they know they don't have to actually go to a physical space that takes extra time and effort. So if they do it online, some people might feel like,
can
hey,
take
I can
like
do this.
anonymous poll that works pretty well. Yeah, it is, and it also reflects how people work nowadays. More distributed. Work is more distributed, more flexible, and more conscious of time.
That's important.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have people like Umberto saying, I do bonding during work hours. Anything after that, he says,
no, thank
bye
you.
in capital letters, right? So I feel you. I can understand that.
Yeah, because not everybody enjoys this kind of recreation game
Okay,
thing.
I guess I'm the only one that enjoys that. Okay. So what do people actually want from workshops these days?
Oh, they want clarity. They want to understand expectations, why they are there. They want fewer slogans and more honest conversations. I mean, it used to be very common making slogans for workshops.
I'm sure. So less performance, like more reality.
Yeah, exactly. Workshops are becoming like spaces where teams talk about what's not working and what needs to change, what needs to improve, not just celebrating success and good sales.
But I'm thinking that does require a bit of trust.
Oh, yes, a lot of trust. And that's another key change. After the pandemic, many organizations realized that trust can't be assumed or we cannot take it for granted.
True. I mean, that has to be built or even rebuilt sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so workshops are increasingly used to rebuild psychological safety, to make it okay to speak honestly, ask questions, and disagree respectfully.
And so, if we look back to what we discussed today, these workshops are definitely evolving. So what would you like to say as the final bit as I let you go today before I do so?
Okay. I'd say before planning activities, ask one question. What challenge are we trying to address? What's the purpose of the workshop?
Okay.
A good workshop doesn't try to do everything. It does one or two things well and respects people's time and energy. So that's very important.
Yes.
So it's okay to see workshops not as something to endure, but as space that can support better work if designed thoughtfully.
Okay. Well, thank you for this very important topic. And of course, we'll check in with you real soon. So thank you,
hope
Jennifer.
Everybody enjoys their workshop this year.
We're all laughing nervously. But thank you. We'll check in with you next week.
Bye.
It is time to wrap things up. And I'm pretty sure that most of you, the wavers out there, are on your way to work. 출근길일 것 같은데요. But for everybody who is thinking already of quitting time, 다 퇴근길이었으면 좋겠지만 출근길이에요. So here is a song to motivate you until we clock out for today. This is 칼퇴근 by 이희경. So enjoy. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
퇴근하고 싶어요. 야근 너무 싫어요. 칼퇴근을 너무너무 하고 싶어요. 내 시간들이 소중하니까. 세상이 다 빠르게 돌아가지만 내 시계는 죽었나 돌질 않네. 째깍째깍 시계의 초침 소리는 분명히 잘 들리는데 정신없이 쉴 새 없이 이랬다 생각했는데 이게 뭐야 점심시간도 멀었다. 퇴근하고 싶어요. 야근 너무 싫어요. 사장 부장 과장님 다 퇴근하세요. 눈치 보여요. 퇴근하고 싶어요. 야근 너무 싫어요. 칼퇴근을 너무너무 하고 싶어요. 내 시간들이 소중하니까. 지는